Very few people have the courage to put themselves on a start line, to go and attack something like you just did today. You said something that I want people to hold on to. This is why I said, when's the last time somebody stepped up to a start line? If you don't step up to a start line, you don't have to overcome obstacles to finish. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Own It Show. I'm your host, Justin Roethlingshoefer, and today is a special episode. And the reason it's special is you can tell we're not at the Miami podcast studio, but we are actually at the Palmer Event Center in Austin, Texas. And we just finished running the DEKA series. And if you are new to the Own It Show, what we do here is we empower, equip, and truly educate people on how to take ownership of their health so they can step into something new. And the reason that this is a special episode is because we're here with one of our clients, Josh Allen, who just finished his first DEKA race. And not only am I so proud of this guy, but he is literally the definition of what it looks like to go from pre-ownership to post-ownership. And as we were thinking about how to bring something to life, I wanted to bring something to life that actually empowered and quite honestly inspired you and showed you what is possible. We talk on this show all the time about what your body needs at the cellular level to heal and how there's inevitable outcomes that you're waiting for, whether that is weight loss, whether that's getting rid of your autoimmune issue, whether that's changing the way you're sleeping, whether that's to feel more confident in yourself, whether that's to get rid of the bloating that's going on. Your body was created to heal and created to thrive, but you have to live differently. And Josh has been the epitome of that through and through. And so Josh, I am so glad that we get to do this here today. And honestly, you get to be here as a DEKA Fit finisher, which is just so amazing. And I'm just so proud of you.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm on cloud nine.
Yeah. Josh, tell a little bit about your journey to this point, because a year ago, this probably wouldn't have been possible. This wasn't something that you would have even dreamt about doing.
No, not at all. I actually came to Own It in January, and I saw progress the previous year, and I committed myself. And I had weighed myself in at the end of January, and I was a little bit over 290 pounds. And through this journey of getting ready and competing and doing this, I was able to drop down to 260. So I lost about 30 pounds, which was really good, but it wasn't really the only thing that mattered to me. I saw quality of life getting a lot better. My HRV in the past 2 months has averaged around 80, which has been really high. It was probably in the upper 30s before. And then the most important thing to me is that I dropped my visceral fat, which was on my organs, in half. So that was uber important.
It's so awesome. And I think what's so cool about this is watching your journey, how, and we talk about this a lot, right? Is there's a lot of things that you can just do from a tactical standpoint. There's a lot of people that say, oh, we have to start counting macros, and we have to start counting calories, and we have to start training 3 times a day, and we have to have no more fun ever again. Yeah. And this is the only way in which to do this and actually see change and progress. But your journey and your process has been very different.
Yeah. We live in a world where the easiest thing for you to do to lose weight is take Wegovy or Ozempic or something like that. You look at that and you're just that's not the healthiest way to do things. And I think for me, it wasn't something that was a fad. It was more of a lifestyle change, and incorporating pieces into your life, like how you sleep, how you eat, how you train, and making sure that it's not just training, it was the recovery piece of it too. So for me, I invested really hard into a sauna and a cold plunge, and I think that's just as vital as any of the workout equipment.
100%. What has been the biggest influence that you've seen in the things that you've started to put into your day-to-day and ultimately stepped into this new way of living?
I think having a process has been key, where we as humans, when we're in this thing called life, we go in what I call like the hamster wheel.
Yeah.
And when you create this process and you have this process that is repeatable, that you make part of your everyday life, it makes it very easy. I've just done a few things to kind of influence and help that, which is I don't watch TV late at night anymore. My wife and I, we either read or we just talk or whatever it may be.
Crazy that you actually connect.
Yeah, crazy to connect. Yeah, I think the thing that really helped us personally is part of the way through the journey, we actually got a new bed, which was kind of crazy because you don't even think of things like that. You're just like, hey, you sleep on this, but we got a new bed, then added in 8 sleep, and that really helped out too. So yeah,
I love it. Talk a little bit about your lifestyle, and what I mean by your lifestyle is the business that you and your wife run, the fact that you have kids all over the country, the fact that you have kids that are very busy, the fact that you have responsibilities beyond that with both of your families, both of your extended families. And the reason I'm asking you that is I want people to resonate with you as like a regular human being, somebody who has a lot going on, and really what's flipped for you. Well, actually, I'm not even gonna say this because I know what it is, but tell them what flipped for you. Tell them what changed for you and why it was like, you know what, this is the greatest way that I can honor my family, that I can honor my body, and that I can ultimately, I have to step into this in order to do what it is that I've been called to do.
So I think when I take a step back and I look at my life previously, we have a very successful investment management firm. We have offices across the country. I mean, we have offices in California, Arizona, Wyoming, Pennsylvania, and soon to be Texas.
Let's go! Come on! But, right next to the Google building out there.
No, we're looking more like Amarillo. So.
Got it.
Yeah, a little bit panhandle, but that requires travel. That mixed in with my daughter is a Division I basketball player, so she's a freshman at Bowling Green. Go Falcons!
Let's go.
So traveling around to see her play, doing last year, when we talked about this, she said, what does your life look like? And I'm like, every weekend I'm in a different state for the Nike EYBL or whatever it may be, so for basketball. You have kids that are competing at a high level, and then you're working, you're doing things, and in your mind, you think that you're sacrificing everything for them. But in reality, what you're doing is you're creating complacency because you are living your life through your kids and your spouse and everything else. And they don't want you to do that. They want you to live your life for yourself, and then creates a more positive environment for them where you thrive. So what I've learned is that stress levels with doing all this have came down. My relationships with my kids have become stronger. My relationship with my wife has become stronger. And it's really not just the health aspect. It's the whole picture. And being able to find time and look at things and realizing I had, I don't want to call it a midlife crisis because that's I don't think my life's mid yet. So, but I look at it and I realize that we have a finite amount of time on this earth, and I want to do things that I feel is important, that makes a strong impact in my community, my family, and my faith.
What was the turning point for you where you were like, I just can't operate like this anymore? When you're 290 pounds, I know you were exhausted all the time, your stress levels were super high. Brenda, your wife, quite honestly said that she worried about you actually having some type of heart episode regularly.
I realized that things that weren't important, I thought were important, and I was stressed all the time.
Like what? Like what?
Just something would happen with my kids, or something would happen at work. Things that really didn't matter. I would focus on those and think that they were more important than what they really were. Okay, and I think that what happens is you lose track on what's important. Okay, so if you have your health in order, you have, this is my opinion too, faith in the right place
For sure.
in your family, you have all those components in there, everything else seems to fall in place. And I think that a lot of times as Americans, we tend to get tripped up on trivial things that really aren't even as important as the bigger picture. And I think for me, what I was doing is, well, I'm a big Italian guy, so I eat my feelings, as you know. So I think that, you know, really coming to grips with, you know, what I needed to change all the way around really helped, you know. And I will tell you that the biggest thing that I did that I saw is I was the type of person that was impatient. So I would rush in, right? I'd rush in and then something wouldn't work in 2 weeks and I'd go, I'm done, you know? And so what I did is I took time, I pulled myself out, I brought patience to the process, I analyzed it, and I kept making tweaks along the way. And it's like, I mean, for me, like, you saw me today, I crossed that finish line today, like I had tears in my eyes. Like you know, a year ago, I never would have been able to do anything like this. So
it's so awesome. Yeah. And I wanna go back to that moment that you talked about a little bit, because there was a lot of emotions out there for you today as you finished something like this. And I think, and I did a podcast on this a while back. What I said was, people very seldom have ever put themselves at a start line. They go to business and run their business and go to their jobs every single day. It's just, you're on the hamster wheel. You go to sleep at night, you wake up in the morning, you go do the other things. Very few people have the courage to put themselves on a start line, to go and attack something like you just did today. Yeah. And I know we talked about it before. We were going to do this episode before, but I wanted to do it after. Yeah. So talk a little bit about the emotions that went through today in your preparation of coming. And before you do that, I want to ask you this question. What made you want to do something like this and put a race on the calendar?
I'm a person with purpose. So if I don't have a purpose, I don't like just going and working out is like, okay, let's go, but what for? And I know that sounds a little cliche because everybody could come in and say, well, it's for your health, you know. But I've realized that if you train for some purpose and you do something for some purpose, you typically put more of your heart into it. Yeah. And so that would probably be. Because
I know as we started on this journey, we started to see a lot of progress. And when I brought this to you originally, you were like, nah, bro, I'm not doing that. Yeah. And it wasn't until you started to see the weight loss that you were like, oh, hey, that race you were talking about, let's go do it.
Well, that's a yes and a no. So I'll tell you the truth. The truth is, when you first brought it to me, I said no because I was scared. Right? I was scared because I didn't think I could do it. And my wife, she actually told me, she's like, you can actually do that. And so we made a pact, and she actually joined ballroom dancing, and I trained for this. She did a phenomenal job a couple weeks ago and got a couple first places in the beginner of ballroom dancing. You know, and then I actually did this. I am uber thankful for her because as much as I could sit here and say, like, you talked me into this, it was probably 50% her too.
It's awesome. So good. And I think what's so cool is you are in Own It with your wife.
Oh yeah.
Like you guys have gone along this journey together.
Yeah.
What has that been like, being able to do it together?
Well, you know, one of the things that I think is in life as humans, we're not meant to be alone, right? And so if you have somebody that's doing it with you, you have accountability, right? But also, you know, with us, we strive to make each other stronger. We strive to make each other better. and I really appreciate her for that.
So good. When you, I want to go back to the race today because before we were getting ready to start, we obviously had a lot of great conversations this morning. And as we were approaching this, I said, "You excited?" You're like, "I'm kind of nervous. I'm excited." Yeah. And walk us through a little bit when you got to that start line. What started to go through your mind as we got closer to taking off?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know if this is good or bad, but I decided to go into this blind. So I actually didn't realize some of the DEKA zones or what I was doing until about a week ago. I got a few tips. JK, Josh Kalinowski, was at the house, and he was like, "Hey, you might want to do this for, on ski erg and a couple other things." So I started to say, okay, maybe I should take a little bit of a look into this. So I think as we got closer to this, I really didn't know what I was getting myself into because I just wanted to this train and go into it and not overwhelm myself. Mm-hmm. And then as I got to the starting line, I saw it and I'm like, okay, I'll say this truth-wise. There's not 150 Justins in me. There's all walks of life, right? Mm-hmm. And so, which actually made it a lot easier.
Very cool. And as you kind of finished up, as we took off from that start line, what emotion started to come over you as you went through the race?
Well, I actually hurt my knee, so my knee felt like on the first zone when we were doing the alternating lunges, my knee kind of felt like it wasn't in the right spot. And then doubt started to creep in where it started to go, okay, you should just probably back out, not do this. And then I was just like, I trained too hard. I did all these things. I'm gonna continue on. And as soon as I hit zone 7, that's when I actually think I started running my laps a little bit faster because I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Let's go. Let's do this thing. So yeah,
and that's when the tears started flowing.
Oh yeah, I actually had more tears running around lap 7. I had like 3 people look at me like, you could do it. They were probably thinking, this guy's like sad, like he's not gonna make it. No, those are tears of joy, So I knew I was gonna make it. So yeah,
that's so good. And what did you feel crossing that finish line?
Well, the funny part of that is I didn't know where the finish line was after I did those ram burpees. I actually almost went the opposite direction, and I got a little point this way. I'm like, okay, so I got through. But as I got through, it was a mixture of gratitude, mixture of exhaustion, mixture of, which was weird. It was a minute and 30 seconds of exhaustion, and then just like happiness after that. So yeah.
Well, I'm just so proud of you. I'm so proud of your effort. I'm so proud of your journey because you are the epitome of consistency and intentionality done over time creates inevitable outcomes. Yeah. Down to 35 plus pounds and being able to live a life that's very different and being able to do this, but also be the example for your kids, be the example for your family, being able to bring your wife along for the journey. And you and Branda both, I mean, gosh, together, you and Branda, how much weight are you guys down together?
Well, she just tells, it's more me. So yeah, I think maybe 40 pounds or something like that, maybe 45. She's not that big to begin with anyway, so it's mostly. I carry, like I tell her, I carry all the weights.
Oh my gosh. No, regardless, she's transformed the way that she operates.
Oh yeah,
and the way that she feels and the way that she is able to carry herself, the confidence that she has.
Yeah.
It was actually staggering when I saw her at the last retreat up in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It was like I saw a different woman walk in that door.
Hers was more grogginess, tired, like all the time, can't understand why, that kind of thing. Now just like a lot of energy.
There was some perimenopausal issues going on
too. Yeah. Support, I don't know.
but she did such an amazing job. Yeah. And being able to see her operate in just the absolute sweet spot of how she's been able to transform as well has just been so amazing. And I'm just so proud of both of you because she's been able to step out of her comfort zone and do this ballroom dancing. She's been able to step out and do something she loves, something she would have never done before, gaining the confidence, the energy that she was dying for. You've been able to step into something that you love and being able to now be the example and move forward and quite honestly, I think prove a lot to yourself.
Yeah.
Because you said something that I want people to hold on to is, this is why I said, when's the last time somebody stepped up to a start line? Was because if you don't step up to a start line, you don't have to overcome obstacles to finish.
Yeah.
And that's what you had to do today, was you had to overcome a couple of obstacles to finish, but my gosh, you finished. And you're finishing.
Yeah, I think about, like we talked about earlier, just the different aches and pains of what I went through to get here. And I look at it as anything you have in life, anything that you really want to accomplish that's worth something is never going to be easy. There's always going to be ups and downs, and there's going to be obstacles, but when you get there, it's so fantastic.
I love it. Yeah. Your health journey and what you're now being willing to steward has only showed up with blessing to follow. And I think that's a lesson that we can all learn, is that when you step into obedience, when you walk in according to stewarding your body well, the only thing that follows it is blessing. And it teaches us a lot of patience. It teaches us a lot of process. It teaches us a lot of things that ultimately we can apply to our life in a multitude of different ways. And being able to see you and Brandon do it together has just been so inspiring. So, when's the next one?
I think early next year, right?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We got
2 more people joining us.
That's right. That's right. We're gonna have
hopefully more.
That's right. We're gonna have a whole slew of people come and join us here in a little bit. But Josh, this has been so great. I just love being able to do this with you. I'm so proud of you, and your journey is just beginning. It's I can't wait to do this again in 6 months and be down some more pounds and be another DEKA race underneath us, faster times, improving all across the board, and just being able again to talk about this journey because you are, like I said, you are the epitome of what ownership looks like, and being able to walk in that has just been so awesome. For somebody listening who's maybe seeing themselves as like, I've tried everything to lose weight before, I've tried to step into a new level of energy, I wanted to run a race before, I've thought about it, I thought about doing something with Own It before, but I haven't pulled the trigger. What would you say to them?
Well, the thing that we have as a society is procrastination. We procrastinate on everything. It's a norm, and I would say that stop procrastinating. That would be the first thing, and then start thinking about your process and what you want to do, and be honest with yourself. Because the thing that we typically do is, when we go in and we start something like Own It, we're going to give you every reason why we can't do something. Not the way we can do it, every reason why we can't. And so I would say go in with an open heart and an open mind. And if you go in with an open heart, it'll all work out.
I love it. The last thing that I want to ask you, because we didn't quite touch on it, but you said that you didn't want to, you started Own It, you overcame the fear of starting Own It, and then as we were running this race, there was more fear of even starting to do the race. Mm-hmm. How did you overcome both of those fears of starting to go down this road on your health journey with Own It, and then second, overcoming the fear to start the race?
I think it's 2 things. I think the first thing is having a strong foundation, and so I have a very strong foundation. When we actually talked about Own It, I talked about it with my wife and I were talking about it, and my kids were there, and they all 3 were like, you guys should both do that, which was really unique in there when we were talking about it, and it was uber important. I think the other thing for me is just, I didn't want to keep doing the same thing over.
Got it.
And so I had to make that change. Like I had to do something, and I just made a choice. So I have this process where it's like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Doesn't work? Okay, I'll go try something else. It worked. so I don't want to have to try something else. Congratulations.
There we go. There we go. What would you say to the person out there who has found themselves doing the same thing over and over and over again, following the same patterns and frustrated that they haven't seen something new?
I think the biggest thing is we all live in the definition of insanity, which is repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? And I think that when you talk about think differently, live differently, you have to actually do that.
Amen.
For it to actually work.
Very good.
And if you think that there's a magic pill, or you think that there's a fad diet, or you think that, you know, you're just going to work your brains out, but then go eat a pizza, you know, there's everything is part, like, I don't want to use Lion King, but like kind of a circle of life.
Sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
Lion King, let's lean into it.
Lean into it, but it's like everything kind of flows together. So you got to be well-rounded in all areas.
It's great, man.
And it's not easy. You know, you stray, so you got to go back.
That's where the community and the accountability, like the real community. Like there's a lot of places that say, oh yeah, we have community, but it's really like pillows trying to sharpen pillows. When we talk about iron sharpening iron, it's like it's the accountability. It's the thing of like having a hard conversation, calling it out to call you up, and in such a way that it's done out of love because I care about you and I want to see you win.
Well, I would say this is, you know, we're sitting here now and we're having this conversation, but one of the key pieces for me when I did own it was Dana. Dana, I mean, she put together my workouts. She checked on me. She made sure that my supplements were right. She was making sure I was training right. She was making sure I was like, she's like, I saw your sleep. Your sleep's not where it needs to be. What are we doing? How are we doing this? And when you're in it, you don't see it. But then when you finished, I was like, oh my gosh, she did so much for me. And so like she was amazing.
I love it. How do you feel now versus how you felt 8 months ago?
Oh, I mean, it's night and day. So like it's a different mindset. Also, more energy, and obviously it's your body's a lot easier to move around when you're a little bit lighter. So
I love it. I love it. So guys, no matter where you're at, whether it's you've been stuck in this cycle that you want to really create change, whether it's, you know what, I'm on the precipice, I'm ready to jump in, but I don't know where to start or where to go. We want to be able to help you. We want to be able to give you something that's going to work, that's going to be able to meet you where you're at, so that we can ultimately bring you to the place that you were called to go, a place that ultimately you were called to create something great, to impact and influence others around you, whether that be your intimate world or whether it be the world. We want to be able to sit and meet you, because when leaders can ultimately be risen to increase capacity, that's when your impact, your influence, and the legacy you leave will ultimately be worth every step in which you make. And the only thing that follows obedience, the only thing that follows commitment is blessing. And this body, this tool, is the only thing that we've been given to carry out that calling. And so you can be like Josh, you can be like Branda, you can be like the Allen family and step into something so new that really, truly gives you the full abundance of what life is really all about, to be able to execute and feel it at the highest level. And so I encourage you, go to ownitcoaching.com, click on that, find a time for us to actually lean in together so we can help you navigate what this journey might look like for you. But at the end of the day, if this served you, if this helped you, share it with somebody so that we can ultimately continue to reach more people. Success is different, so own your different. We'll see you guys next week.